Mitigating risk is the biggest key in agriculture. There's so many variables, weather, things that are out of your control. The government, markets that you as a single agricultural grower have very little to no control over. So you've got to look at all those things and kind of fit those in with your risk profile. I think every day you wake up as a farmer, you're taking risk. From that standpoint, you've got to be ready as a client, as a grower, to look at your monthly cash flow, look at your working capital, keep your financial profile clean, keep it readily available, and utilize the resources that you need to. You talk about crop insurance, working capital, lines of credit. While they are three different areas, you need to kind of fuse the three of them together. Talking in relation to crop insurance, it helps you set a baseline for the year. It protects you against your revenue, your income volatility. So it's not just an expense. In the past, I think a lot of people just looked at crop insurance as an added expense, and that can't be the case anymore. You need to look at that and protect against your revenue and your income volatility in that sense. Essentially, if you're looking at it from a revenue protection standpoint, you can go 75%, 80%, 85%, all the way down to 70% in some aspects. And essentially, each 5% you drop off, if you go from 80 to 75%, it cuts your costs in half for what you're spending that year. But on the flip side, it's also cutting down your bottom line, what you're protecting against. And that comes with some income volatility. If you're protecting 80% of your revenue of your APH, that's where your line item's at for that year. But if you drop down to 70%, your baseline really, really falls off. Marketing is definitely a huge aspect of risk management. You incorporate your working capital, your line of credit, your crop insurance, because the crop insurance helps set that baseline for you. And it helps with your income volatility, and that's where the marketing plan can come into play after that. You can utilize, here's your baseline, here's where I need to be at the end of the year, and you can forward sell. You can sit back and watch the volatility in the market happen that year and kind of play it out from there. You can only cut so many costs. You can't necessarily buy the cheapest seed out there, because it might only yield 180 bushel when the top companies are 280. So you can't sacrifice yield by always cutting costs. You can't cut fertilizer costs every single year, because at that point you're completely eroding the ground that you've spent all these years building up. You need to find ways moving forward to make more money is what it boils down to, and that's growing more bushels, getting creative in your marketing plan. Maybe going that route where you adopt a no-till program. There's things you can do on the revenue side that you might not have done in the past. You've got to be ready to adjust when the time comes. 500 acres comes available to you to cash rent or buy. You need to just have some flexibility built into your balance sheet and your financials, and be ready to adjust when the times come. Yeah, I think your FO, your lender, is your main source when you're talking about risk planning. Speak in regards to Compeer, the lending, the FOs have a wealth of knowledge in different operations and types of operations they've dealt with over the years that, pick up that phone and make a call and say, hey, I'm thinking about doing this. What are your thoughts? And you're going to sit down with that lender and they're going to have an answer for you.